Capital Weather Gang bringing you some additional heat this week with added mugginess and rain chances. So if you're not wanting to water quite as much, that's some of the upside this week, but we do have some flooding concerns as we get into the middle and later parts of this week. So anytime you need us, we're at capitalweathergang.com, and for the latest, go to CWG.news/latest. And again, our heat wave kind of starts tomorrow with officially day 3 of 90 or higher for our high temperatures. Tomorrow will be day 3 in a row, so a heat wave is underway, and now we're adding in some higher dew points, so you can really feel that stickiness in the air. It is much less comfortable than it was even yesterday on Saturday. Good evening, Paul. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the dew points are going to be in that muggy gross category, 70 to 75 degree dew points. Very humid feeling, very sticky, very steamy. Not quite, I don't want to overpromise if you love heat and humidity. The sultry 75 dew points plus, I don't think we'll get over 75 much, if at all, this week. But yeah, you're going to notice this as our heat wave really gets entrenched tomorrow for day 3 of 90 degrees or higher. We're adding in that humidity and those rain chances as we go into the middle and later part of this week. And a rain chance is even possible tomorrow, don't get me wrong, but we're more and more watching kind of later this week. We could have some flooding concerns if rain continues to be heavy and continues to move over the same geographic areas of our region in the mid-Atlantic later this week. Hey David, good evening. Yes, some raindrops are good for gardeners and farmers. Lisa says hi, good to see you. Yep, pretty darn hot today. I agree. We're cooling down a little bit this evening. Here's my Kestrel weather meter, but it's still muggier than even early this morning. I have to admit, the mugginess is moving in, these higher dew points. Very humid feeling now. Let's see, David is also glad to see some rain. Annette is loving this weekend weather. Lisa doesn't love summers in the DMV, and pretty oppressive out here, Aaron. Yep, you're outside. Oh, you lost power for a few hours tonight. I'm very sorry to hear that. Andrew says it was pretty oppressive, and indeed, dew points this week are what we're watching. They're going to flare above 70 degrees, which becomes very muggy, very kind of gross, uncomfortable, very noticeable. So we are watching the dew points later this week. Lisa wants some rain. Well, the good news is rain chances are in the forecast. Even tomorrow, we have some rain chances that are generally along and west of I-95. That's the favored geographic area. But rain is in the forecast. Growing chances later this week. You can see by Tuesday even, we have a slightly higher rain chance than tomorrow and Monday. But keep an eye to flash flooding concerns, as some heavy showers, storms, downpours really could put down some rainwater pretty quickly later this week. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Please stay tuned to capitalweathergang.com. No, Greg, sorry to say there is no snow. Adriana, hello, thanks for tuning in. Victor, hello. Ground thermometer finally hit 64 degrees today. You might see some cicadas now. And Lisa, rain chances most every day, Lisa. I'm comfortable saying that for this week's forecast. But don't really change outdoor plans until maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I would recommend having a plan B for most of this week, though. Yes, just in case. Michael, Milky Way photography, excellent at Big Meadows this weekend. Sunday looking better for seeing the Milky Way than Saturday, Michael. Laura, pollen update, no problem at all. Let's take a look. We've got a little bit of everything, and I'll also talk about the sunrise and sunset times with our ever-increasing day length as we head toward the summer solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere. But pollen-wise, trees, weeds, mold, all pretty low. The good news is grasses, I think I'm feeling a little bit of a break this weekend. Not too bad in that department, so I hope that helps a little bit with the pollen report, Laura. And indeed, we're approaching our longest daylight hours, our longest day length from sunrise to sunset. We've got daylight at 14 hours and almost 50 minutes. You can expect in the DC region about at the maximum 14 hours and 54 minutes for our summer solstice on June 21st. We are pretty much at our earliest sunrises of the year, and we're going to just tack on a few more minutes to get to our latest sunset by the summer solstice at 8:37 p.m. I think I am doing that correctly. So yep, we just have a few more minutes to tack on to our day length and to our sunset time. We're basically at the earliest sunrises of the year. All right, Beth, you want some rain, even though humidity comes with it. Not great, but you'll take it. I understand. Let's look at the rain amounts for this upcoming week. A lot of this could fall starting kind of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Those are the main rain days we're thinking about. But all said and done, by the time you talk to me next Sunday for these weekly Sunday sunset chats, thanks for joining me. I'm Camden Walker, CapitalWeatherGang.com. We could see an inch or two for parts of the mid-Atlantic region. So that's pretty decent news for gardeners and farmers, but unfortunately we could see some very heavy downpours over the same geographic areas, especially we're worried about Thursday and Friday. So if the atmosphere puts down too much water in one place over and over again, day after day, maybe 3 days in a row, that's why we have some flooding concerns. But overall, when you average out the entire week, we are generally happy to see this, especially considering that we do have some drought conditions into parts of Virginia as well. So we could use this rain. Beth is loving the cicadas. Teresa loves the summer, but not the cicadas as much. And the heat is driving Charlene mad. I'm sorry to hear that. But at least, Charlene, we do cool down by the later part of this week as the rain chances go up. And we even might stay kind of cooler, less warm into the weekend. And for the latest forecast on CapitalWeatherGang.com, you can go directly to CWG.news/latest. And I believe if you touch your face, the link will pop up below to the latest forecast on your mobile device or above on your desktop or laptop. David wants to talk about the tropics. And Victor, for really quickly on the morning solar eclipse Thursday morning, I am not too optimistic. So have a plan B or maybe sleep in a little bit. I'm sorry to say, but the solar eclipse might be a little bit obscured. But David's talking about the tropics. Yes, we are good at the moment. Here's the latest from the National Hurricane Center. But is it worth watching the Western Caribbean later this week? Yes. So we'll have to watch. The Western Caribbean might be a development area later this week. There is some slight chance of development, and it could head toward the Gulf Coast. So we will keep an eye on that, of course, at CapitalWeatherGang.com. Of course, you can go to hurricanes.gov as well for the latest on the tropics. And here's the next name if we do see a tropical depression develop into a tropical storm this week in the Caribbean, which is currently the favored area if something does develop this week, and that is still an if. Bill would be the next name on our list, since we did have Anna a few weeks ago in May. All right, let's see. We've got cicadas are cool from Lisa's vote, and cicadas can go away now, says Victoria. And David is liking these rain totals that we are showing. Indeed, an inch or two is possible in the region when all said and done. By the time you talk to me next Sunday for our weekly Sunday sunset chats, these great Q&As every week, you could be happier from a gardening and farmer standpoint. But let's keep an eye on things. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there is a flash flooding chance this week because we could see a lot of rain from some of these downpours coming potentially later this week in a short period of time. And these downpours travel over the same geographic region over and over repeatedly later this week. So we're just keeping a wary eye on that at CapitalWeatherGang.com. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms, and we will keep you posted. Happy to see all three of you here tonight on Twitter, on YouTube, and Facebook. Thank you all for tuning in. Elizabeth is on YouTube, Laura's on Facebook, and Nabil is on Twitter. Really appreciate seeing you. Let me get to your questions and comments while I show you the latest forecast and forecast at a glance. All right, we've got cicadas, not a single one in Glenville, Pennsylvania, says Charlene. Sorry to hear that, but it is a little quieter. It's some upside there to that. And Laura is tired of being dive bombed by these cicadas. Elizabeth is really enjoying the cicadas. It's very muggy walking in the morning. Yes, indeed. That is what we're watching. These dew points increasing this week toward maybe the 75-degree mark, which is very muggy, very uncomfortable. So expect more of the same with our heat wave really establishing itself on day 3 tomorrow of 90 degrees or higher in the DC area. That's officially a heat wave, it looks like, starting tomorrow, and we just add in some mugginess and rain chances for the week as well. So keep that in mind. Let's show you our scale really quick. We're going to be muggy gross in the 70 to 75 degree dew point range this week, so please keep that in mind. You are going to sweat, and it's not going to evaporate from your skin very easily. That's why we talk about heat index values potentially in the mid-90s. It's going to parent temperature feel like mid-90s for some of these air temperatures this week. So please keep that in mind. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday look to be potentially 90 degree or higher days again this week. And Jennifer, indeed, you wish the nighttime temperatures were lower, and that is a symptom of these dew points that are moving in. The higher the dew point, the more difficult it is for the atmosphere to cool down, but to that dew point. So when the dew points go up, the nighttime temperatures are going to be hitting a floor right around the dew point level. So that is an unfortunate symptom of this heat wave indeed. Safe to make outdoor plans for next Saturday, Nabil? I'll show you the temperatures, and I have hesitations. So I'm hesitant to talk about all the details for next Saturday, but generally speaking, it looks like it'll be less warm, continued kind of cooler, maybe rainier, as we're seeing at the end of this week. A backdoor cold front could stall over our region. We could see some rain chances bleed over into Saturday as well. So here, the temperatures fairly comfortable, should be a little bit less muggy, but I think for Saturday, maybe Sunday, you want to have a plan B in the back of your mind, but I'm more confident at this point. Sunday could be mostly dry. Saturday still has sufficient enough rain chances that while I like these temperatures, I think for rain chances, if you have outdoor plans, do just have a plan B in case you need to take action for a different site or indoor venue. So I hope that helps. So Dana, the cicadas should start to die off as we go into the next week or two. And I think all of them are generally scheduled to die off by July 4th. Thunderstorms this week on the strong side, Drew. You always do. I love how you tune in and have great intuition about severe weather this week. And we do have a lifting mechanism coming in this week to the DC region, to the mid-Atlantic. Wednesday, Thursday, with a clash of cold Atlantic air with this backdoor cold front that could potentially hit our region. Yes, I think downpours and isolated flooding, patchy flooding is possible even on Wednesday, more so Thursday, Friday. So I think heavy downpours are the main concern from these slow moving showers and storms this week. But with that front being an impetus for some lift later this week, we could see one or two strong storms, but under 5% chance as it looks now. We'll keep an eye on that, of course, at capitalweathergang.com as we get later into this week, midweek, as that backdoor cold front pushing colder, moist Atlantic air off of the Atlantic Ocean. It'll move from the northeast to the southwest over our region. We'll just have to see how far south it pushes, south of the DC, maybe even Richmond area this week. And if it sticks around, we could see repeated of downpours and even showers and storms, giving us that flash flooding concern for Wednesday and more so Thursday, Friday as well. So, yep, we'll have to keep an eye on things this week from a precipitation standpoint. John had some big flash floods this week in Hartford, Colorado. I hope everyone is safe. Thank you for that report. Small brush fires are popping up in Boyd's, Maryland. We are indeed very dry, Jennifer. We've got some drought conditions popping up in the region. Right now, we could still use this rain, and I'll show you the rain totals that are giving us some optimism later this week. By the time you talk to me next Sunday, we could be well on our way to abolishing these abnormally dry areas and the drought areas, because we could have an inch or two of rain by the time you talk to me next Sunday for our weekly Sunday Sunset Live Q&A chats. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeathergang.com. Make sure you go to our latest at CWG.news/latest or CapitalWeathergang.com directly. And thank you all so much for following us on our platforms tonight. I'm simulcasting to you all on Twitter, on YouTube, and Facebook. Make sure you follow us on those platforms. We do give different updates sometimes with different types of severe weather. So we'll keep you posted always, 24/7 at CapitalWeathergang.com. And again, I appreciate you all tuning in. And the mugginess this week is what's coming in with the continued heat wave really getting established tomorrow for a third day of 90 degrees or higher. Officially a heat wave tomorrow. And the mugginess is really going to be here. High humidity feeling when you get dew points at or above 70 degrees. And this week's range could be 70 to 75 for that muggy gross dew point category on our how's it feel emoji scale from the Washington Post. Need a break in the humidity? Yep. Bar by late this week. We should get a little more comfortable, a little cooler by Thursday into Friday, but we're watching those rain chances. They could continue to be heavy Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and thus we have some flash flooding concerns later this week and maybe even into Saturday as well. So we'll have to keep an eye on things as the backdoor cold front we're watching moving from northeast of us off of the Atlantic Ocean pushes hopefully southwest of us enough later this week to keep us out of the heaviest rain repeatedly moving over the same areas, but that's what we are concerned about. All right, potential for severe weather, Manassas area later this week. Can't rule it out, but as it looks now, these patchy flooding, flash flooding concerns are the main threat this week. Strong storms with hail or gusty winds or frequent lightning, not quite as big a concern as the precipitation being heavy. These could be slow movers, so any rain that does develop over your house in Manassas or Linton Hall area, Scott, it could be heavy as it just sits over you this week. So We'll keep you posted, of course, at capitalweathergang.com. It's a precipitation concern by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Not necessarily a high chance of a stereotypical strong to severe storm with hail, lightning, and damaging winds, or tornadoes. Not even on the table at this point as it stands now. All right, today's a good Sunday, says Chow. Children are having fun at the Special Harbor Spray Ground. Excellent. Getting sprayed will cool things off a little bit. That's excellent. How much rain this week, Misha? Happy to show you the expected rain totals, 1 to 2 inches by the time you talk to me for next Sunday's weekly Sunday Sunset Chat Q&A. So that is good news for gardeners and farmers, but unfortunately a lot of this could fall in a day or two at the end of this week, and that's why we have some of these flash flooding concerns for later this week. So please stay tuned to capitalweathergang.com and make sure you have another weather source as well in case there are flash flooding concerns this week and we see some flash flood warnings. Just stay tuned to more than one weather source to make sure you are getting all the warnings that you might need later this week. All right, so Misha, I hope that answers your question. Dave, lightning is possible this week, but I don't see it as big a concern as last week. We're mainly concerned about precipitation and heavy rainfall later this week, so please keep that in mind. That's the main threat this week, is isolated patchy flash flooding. And of course, we'll keep you posted at capitalweathergang.com all week as we monitor the situation. Yep, chance for storms tomorrow on Monday, Dana. It is the lowest chance of the week, and the geographically preferred area for the storms and showers tomorrow will be along and west of I-95. So if you live west of town, you have a better chance of seeing some rain chances tomorrow. Hello, Peter. Thank you so much for tuning in. Charlene, I would love to think about resuming Capital Weather Gang meetups. Maybe we can do a virtual warm-up session later this summer. Thanks for asking. That's very kind of you. You have a great memory. You've been around a while. I have missed those as well. As the pandemic ebbs this summer, it might be safe to get together. We will discuss that, maybe do an outdoor gathering somewhere. How stormy this week in Centerville? Linda, pretty stormy. I mean, we're all in the mid-Atlantic facing this increasing rain chance as we head later and later into this week, an inch or two for all of us. Looks like a very decent chance by the time you talk to me next Sunday for our weekly Sunday Sunset Chat Q&As. All right, so has DC ever had dew points in the 80-degree range? Yes, indeed, Drew, a few times. I believe our record high dew point in DC, I want to say, is 84 degrees one time. But dew points this week, thank goodness, will not approach these tropical rainforest levels, these Singaporean swamp blanket levels. But we're getting there into the discomfort. It is looking like 70 to 75 degree dew points are going to be some added lovely borderline misery this week with our heat continuing. Our heat wave really establishes itself tomorrow. Our third day at or above 90 degrees will be tomorrow, which makes it officially a heat wave. And we add in dew points of 70 to 75 degrees, gross or muggy. And so you can add a couple of degrees onto these air temperatures. Your skin is just going to have such a hard time naturally evaporating that sweat, which is your natural cooling mechanism. So to your body, to your skin, it's going to feel like mid-90s for a few portions of this week with the high humidity, these high dew points sneaking into this heat wave as we look at it, establishing itself tomorrow for our third day in a row of at or above 90 degrees, officially a heat wave. All right, let's see. How about Reston for the week? Sarah, looking wet and muggy in Reston. And again, we're watching for flash flooding chances potentially later this week. Let me show you the rainfall amounts, 1 to 2 inches possible in Reston as well. And because a lot of this could fall in a day or two's time at the end of this week, this concentration of heavier showers and storms, there might be slow moving at the end of this week and continue to repeat the rain over the same geographic areas on repeat. And that bodes trouble for a flash flooding concern if that precipitation continues to track over the same areas and continues to be heavy as that's what we're eyeing this week, is the rainfall potential, the flooding potential. So all of us in the region in the mid-Atlantic need to keep an eye on things. We are going to go from some of these abnormally dry conditions that we have been experiencing to, and let's show that really quick. We've had some droughts, especially in the Virginia area and in the Carolinas. There has been some drought, but we are going to get alleviation from that this week. That is kind of the upside to seeing rainfall amounts 1 to 2 inches over the next week's time. All right, let's see. David, dew points that high. It's going to be a nice downpour if we get it. Yes, not just looking at the dew points, but the precipitable water in the atmosphere this week is going to be very high. And so with slow motion of these showers and storms, high dew points, providing, yes, some of the surface moisture and the precipitable water in the entire column of the atmosphere. We could see ideal conditions that access the entire column of moisture. And when you create an ideal rain scenario, when you have the right lift and convergence of all these variables in the atmosphere, we're going to access much, if not all, that precipitable water that's moving into our region kind of from the southwest this week off of the Gulf of Mexico. So it'll be extremely juicy. And any storm, as you're exactly intuiting correctly, any storm that does develop could be heavy rain producing, could be slow moving, could repeat itself over the same areas over different days. We could have kind of training echoes on radar and could see downpours just continue to repeat over the same areas. So that is what we're watching this week. It is muggy, it is moist. We have this rain threat that does not go away. It's kind of a persistent rain threat this week, and things could get heavier, and we could see an inch or two of rain by the time you talk to me next Sunday, and we could see that kind of focused on the end of this week. So flash flooding concerns are there. Just want to keep you advised. No need to change or do alternate plans just yet, but maybe if you have outdoor plans, even at the end of this week through, let's say, Saturday, you are going to want just to have a plan B in the back of your mind so you can take action if needed. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm Camden Walker for CapitalWeatherGang.com. The week is looking hot, increasingly muggy, increasing chances of rain, and those rain chances could get heavier and heavier by the end of this week and kind of not allowing soil to dry out. We kind of get too much of a good thing, and we do have some flash flooding concerns by the late part of this week. And so Sharon, thanks for tuning in, and Elizabeth, so far tomorrow and Tuesday, generally mid-afternoon into evening rainfall timing, but it does turn into kind of a more all-day threat by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday for our rain chances there. Thanks, Barb. Thanks for tuning in. You have a great week as well, and take care for now, everyone.